Welcome to readtheticker.com. This is part 4 of an investigation to a Charles Nenner cycle. Once again, we have no association, we're just using what's freely available on the web. This is the Charles Nenner forecast for Apple weekly data taken from the Charles Nenner website. This is what we are investigating. Also taken from the Charles Nenner website is this presentation of cycles with the unemployment data. It shows large cycles and small cycles. I think there are 4 cycles in total. This image was determined or produced by software known as TechSignal. This is the software that produced that image. TechSignal was developed by a chap called Richard Mogi, who used to work for the Cycle Foundation and now he's gone private. The calculations within TechSignal of bar towels, amplitude, phase, multiple cycle selection have been reproduced within readtheticker.com in a tool called the cycle spectrum. And here's an example of the daily output. We have our bar towels in the red line, our amplitudes, and our profit performance. Once again, you can use 2 methodologies to find cycles. You can use your eyeballs and you can use mathematics. When you're looking at cycles, it's best to go from the trees to the forest and the forest back down to the trees again to find which cycles or which are basically statistically significant or dominant. So that's how we got here so far. This is the methodology used. Okay, here are 3 cycle periods that I've determined for the Apple's stock weekly data. We have 120 and 24. This image below here represents a combined cycle. Here is the weekly data, a weekly cycle for Apple. And as you can see here, this top here, where the cycle wave actually syncs with that top there. And you see here the cycle swing down. This is only one cycle, 120 week. That's the bottom, that's the bottom. This is another top here. So in a sense, Apple actually does cycle very well. It's easy to find cycles in Apple. So I would say it's sine wave cycle friendly. Just as an Elliott wave chart might be friendly, or other technical analysis type chart. Any chart that has a very popular following will be sympathetic to technical tools. Okay, so that's our long cycle. Well, let's add a short cycle. I've preloaded short cycle. I'm just going to show it. This is the 24-week cycle. Okay, so here we have just 2 statistically dominant cycles, one short and one long. Remember that chart I showed you of we're going through this process here to find the long and the short. Also, it's a good point to note that well-known cycle trader Jim Hurst, his approach is very similar to this. For example, page 47. Page 47 of this book called the Profit Magic of Stock Transaction Timing. Up in 47, I think it's actually might be page 56. Yeah, page 54. There you go. Here you see Jim Hurst approach, where you have a longer term time frame dominant cycle and a shorter term time frame dominant cycle. And in this case, he's merged these 2 cycles together. And this is how Jim Hurst would basically find cycles to trade stocks. Therefore, to add these cycles, I've got an example of how to add these cycles together. I'll just go edit here. Here's the data that I showed you in the image. I've just put them together. That I've got the combine on. I'm just going to turn the show on so we can see them. Right, here we go. As you can see, the purple line shows the merger of the blues and the red cycles. We get a top there, a bit of a dip there, a top there, a bit of a dip there, it comes down. it's not exactly timing, but you have to take into account price action, and confirmation may come a week or 4 later. But obviously, like I said before, in the forecast cycle of Nenner, it shows a bottom later around 2003 than a rally. So does the big red cycle, a bottom late 2013 in a rally. Now, what's the difference between the Nenner forecast and what Jim Hurst would do? Obviously, it's application of more shorter and medium-term dominant cycles, which would add into the purple line to give it a closer fit to price action. Now, I'm not saying that's all to the Nenner forecast. What I am saying is that that's standard cycle methodology and cycle foundation methodology, and it's just a matter of taking it to the nth degree to work out a sophisticated cycle process. But I like to state that I believe Jim Hurst's method is more simple and more logical to it when you're applying actually cash money, because you can see the big cycles, you can see the dominant shorter time frame, maybe you might have 2 dominant shorter time frames, and you can see price action confirming towards it. So the cycle methodology approach between the Hurst and the Nenner type approach is the same. Is that it's just that Nenner's taken his, instead of 2 cycles, he's probably gone into 5, 6, 8, 9 cycles, with probably a few other proprietary calculations thrown in. That was the simple overview and the end of the investigation to a Charles Nenner reverse engineer forecast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.